MGK released his album Tickets to My Downfall on September 25th, 2020. It featured the singles Bloody Valentine, Concerts for Aliens, and My Ex's Best Friend, and it has songs that feature Travis Barker and Youngblood on it, and it's basically a pop punk record. The album fared very well for MGK, who really seemed to appreciate rock music. He learned to play the guitar, although I'm sure he would admit he's not the greatest guitar player in the world, but he did seem to appreciate rock music, and he almost seems like he's going to be moving in that direction going forward. But it's some comments that he made on a recent podcast that are rubbing a lot of people in bands the wrong way, and it has pissed a lot of people off what he said and led to a lot of backlash from those comments. So I'm interested in hearing what you guys think about this in the comments down below, and let's just take a look. So MGK appeared on Rock This with Ali Hagendorf, and he talked about the future of rock, what is in store for rock. And by the way, if you haven't checked out Rock This with Ali Hagendorf, you should definitely give it a listen. She is a great host, a very knowledgeable fan of rock. She wrote her college thesis on Korn's album Issues.
This is very important. The state of rock and roll depends on rock stars. I gotta see some you. I have to see some you in it. I want some attitude, dude. Like, this is what I will tell you. I did Warped Tour, and these would wear comfortable shoes on stage every day. Your fucking Nike New Balance fucking comfy shoes because it makes you feel comfortable. Put on some Doc Martens, you put on some Chucks, put on some Vans, put on, like, it's not about you. It's about the show. You don't look cool, man. I hate your feet. I hate your shoes. I hate everything about you're comfortable. Rock and roll's not comfortable. It's uncomfortable. It's a metaphor. Your shoes are a metaphor. You. Next question.
Oh man, that's great. By the way, like I said, that's a great interview with Ali. She did, she's a great interviewer. Obviously, MGK felt very comfortable there speaking to her, and let me try to explain this from all different angles, and then I'll tell you guys what I think too. I'm not going to sit on the fence about this. MGK is right. He is right when he says that rock music needs to be sort of dangerous, and it needs to be in your face, and it needs to be unsafe. And there is an element of truth to that. Rock music has gotten, in some ways, very boring with some exceptions. I don't mean that in a broad statement, but there is a lot of mundane music in rock, and there's a lot of mundaneness in metal. Most of it, though, fortunately, is still great. But there's a lot of trend chasing. There's a lot of repetitive sounding songs on things. You'll hear Bring Me the Horizon do something, and then you'll hear a lot of similarity to that in some other music. But there are beams of light. There is a lot of originality out there. You've got bands like Falling in Reverse with Ronnie Radke. You've got bands like I Prevail that are doing a lot of great. Obviously, Breaking Benjamin has their own very original sound. Tool has their own very original sound. And there's a lot of good out there too. But on the other hand, when you have someone like MGK who has a major label deal, he has all the amenities, he has benefited from hip hop, and he's gotten, you're out here on Warped Tour benefiting from the fan base that people on this tour that came before you cultivated. You didn't cultivate this audience that the Warped Tour had at that time, but you benefited from it. So you're out here performing in front of these fans, apparently judging the artists who are around you that are trying to make an honest living for their fans. This is not the way to sort of ingrain yourself as a rock musician. You're coming into this and you're making a lot of enemies by your statements. One. And then back to the other side of things, the fact that we're talking about MGK is good for him at the same time. So maybe he's just smarter than us all and we're all dumb. Did he mean offense to other people? Was he talking shit? Was he joking around? Was he ball busting? I think he was. I don't think that when somebody gets riled up like that in an interview that he's really that bent out of shape about shoes. I mean, let's just be honest here. He's talking shit. He's joking around. But I completely understand why some bands are getting bent out of shape about this and some musicians are getting bent out of shape about this, because they work so hard and they work for everything that they have. And then you've got this dude that comes in that's probably loaded, and he's got lots of cash, he's got lots of nice things, and he's just shitting on your life's work. Maybe those nice shoes that they're wearing were because they didn't want to injure themselves because they couldn't afford to fix their broken ass feet. I mean, I don't know. I'm really speculating here, but this is some of the reaction that came from people who were talking about what MGK had to say about this. Jared Dines posted this video of Stevie T making fun of MGK's guitar solo. I'm just going to play a couple seconds of that. Look, he's not a great guitar player, but he has the propensity to get better. So Jared says, rock and roll is not comfortable, MGK. Well, I definitely don't feel comfortable after watching this, so I guess you succeeded. Craig Reynolds of Straight from the Past says, after Machine Gun Kelly telling everyone in rock music that they should be uncomfortable or they're fake, I can't wait to see him next tour pulling up to a $40 hotel at 5 a.m. in an 8-seater van with 10 people in it, backing the trailer up against a tree and checking himself in. Dear MGK, I don't wear my Doc Martens on tour because it wastes time taking them off to pee when I'm sleeping on the bench in the van because on the night drive from Denver to Salt Lake. I know I'm very comfortable, but please, can I still have my rock card from a multi-millionaire rapper? This part is actually a true story. While we rarely tour on a bus, I always actually wear Doc Martens, but now I'm conflicted. Hopefully the comfort balances out and I can still rock. Will says, Kurt Cobain was a lazy poser who wasn't a real rock star, according to MGK. You can't make this shit up. And it shows Kurt Cobain wearing some nice shoes while he's flipping upside down. This guy says, all right, MGK, what if I wear these on stage? He's got some cleats on. It's like a weird fascination that MGK has with people's comfort levels when they're performing on stage. You can't be comfortable and you can't be happy if you're performing on stage with this guy. Here's a good one. Well, MGK, what do you have to say about the guitar god's choice of footwear? It's a slash. Got some Nikes on. Uh-oh. Might wear slippers on stage next year and send a picture of it to MGK. John says, Vincent Bennett from the Acacia Strain dresses comfy and looks and sounds a lot more metal than MGK. I get if he said he wanted to look a certain way for stage presence, like the way Manson gets in costume and changes his look completely, but not every band needs a gimmick, and he's exactly right. So what do you guys think about this? Did you listen to MGK's album? Are you an MGK fan? Do you disagree with MGK? Let me know down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking news and updates. Thanks so much for joining me today at Rockfeed, and we'll see you all very soon.